so let me ask y'all this. What was a New Year's resolution that you decided to make that you knew good and well that you wasn't going to keep?
I never really bothered to like dabble into that. I already know like it's just not gonna happen. You could just start now if you're really gonna do anything.
Okay.
Did you learn that like immediately, or was that something you learned after like trying and realizing it wasn't? Because I mean that sounds good, but was it good like after it failed a few times and you just like in all reality like is that something that like
I never set one.
Okay. All right.
Y'all set one before?
I've never really set a goal for resolution. I just didn't really believe in it myself. Trying to come up with something that I thought that I could attain. Other than, of course, perhaps losing a little weight, perhaps, or just being good or better person. For the following new year. So that's about it.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I told myself I was gonna like cut out pop and juice and just drink water for a whole year.
Okay.
That was supposed to be this year. It lasted about a good week.
Yeah, I'm about to say I've seen plenty of pop.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
It lasted about a good week. Like I told myself, like I really believed. I'm like, yo, I want to drink better. I want to drink water. You know what I'm saying? Like cut down on alcohol, cut down on like juice and pop and all that stuff. It lasted about a good week, bro.
Yeah. I'll say this: when 2020 began, I was like, this is my year for music. I was like, yeah, I got the plan. We was gonna come out with the tape. Like we was working every Saturday on it like that. Like I don't remember the Saturday sessions we did like that. Those were we were doing those like constantly, and it was like bet we're gonna drop this. I'm gonna drop my tape summertime. Did it out. So like I don't know if I have a resolution that failed, but that was just like, it was like January was hitting, bet February was hitting. We was getting like, and the songs were good too. We were sitting there like, yeah, it's gonna be great. And all of a sudden it was like, what's this coronavirus? They said they got somebody in the back or something like that out in China or something. Whatever, right?
Right.
I remember like to this day where I was talking to my like the residential like director guy at that one of the guys on campus because I was here for spring break, and I talked to him on like Thursday, and we were just me and him were cool, so we just chopped it up in his apartment, and I was like, man, are you think gonna shut down the school or something like that? And he was like, man, honestly, I'm in these conversations in these rooms just like that. I'll be surprised if because we just haven't talked about that yet. Like it just hasn't been a thing for us. And I kid you not, I left that meeting and was walking back to my apartment, which is about like a 5-minute walk. About 3 minutes into that walk, I checked my phone, NBA. It's like everything's canceled in the NBA, and that was the first thing that happened when everybody was like, "Oh, like this is legit." And so then, like, long story short, NBA canceled, and about 4 days later is when the school announced, like, "Yeah, we're not coming back." And I was just like, "Yo," like, and so the year of music like that was just completely dead. So I mean, like, there's obviously the ones where like the I'm gonna work out this year, those kind of failed too. But that one was the one where I was like, yo, 2020 is it. It just sounded good. Like 2020 sounds good.
Yeah.
Man, that was sadly mistaken.
Man,
sadly mistaken.
Man, 2020 had a run. It felt like every day something was going on. Every month. And then that translated to 2021, the same thing. It's like every single button something was going on.
It was really just thinking of today. I was like, yo, we're really about to hit like 2 years on this pandemic in a real way. Like, not just like, oh, we're like, no, like we about to hit 2 years, and like, that's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy because it's just like, do you just remember the conversations where it was just like, yeah, we'll probably be like this for like a couple more months.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody think probably get back to normal like 4 weeks or something like that.
I remember that. I remember when it was supposed to be just 1 month, and like on social media, everybody was doing their 30-day challenge or whatever because it was only supposed to be for 30 days. Yeah. Now look at us.
Right. But I felt, what made me sad though, for real, was that I remember when like it was like at 8 o'clock at night in my like parents' apartment complex. I went back to stay with them. Everybody like went out and made noise, and it was like to celebrate all like the essential workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That thing, like, people lost gas, man. It was like every night at like 8 o'clock, and then by about like July, like or August, Everybody just couldn't do it no more. And I'm like, man, bro, like they still out there working, bro, and not hearing nobody make no noise for them. They still gotta go out and do this thing. That's tough.
Yeah.
Because people really thought that was gonna catch as long as this thing was done in like 2 months. And 2 months in, it's like, so
Absolutely, man. Like this year, we was able to be outside for the summertime.
right.
They let us out for the summer, and right back in. Like,
Because we went outside. Because we went outside. Go ahead.
It was like recess,
Yeah. Yeah.
Recess, because shortly after that, I mean, here they come up with something else, and it's like, come on, not again.
yeah, man,
That's so true. That's so true. Summer was so fun just for it to go back to be like, all right. I feel like it was almost like a money grab. It was like, all right, y'all go outside for the summertime. All right. Calm down. Go exercise. Man, I miss it though. COVID, it really was like a tease too. It was like, oh yeah, we about to be back.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, we looking at December and we still got masks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize too. I didn't realize that other states weren't as bad as Illinois, and like Illinois, California, and like New York are like the ones that are still like masked up legit, and like everything's like still like going. Everywhere else is pretty like laid back. I had no idea.
I went to Indiana over sometime during the summer, I believe, like early fall. They don't care about masks, bro.
Right.
Like they just I walked into a gas station.
Yeah,
I'm the only one with my mask on.
yeah.
They looking at me like I'm weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, do y'all not know it's a pandemic going on? No.
Yeah. It's wild.
It's wild.
It's wild. That's something I was about to say. It was like, yeah, it's just, people talk about living here like we're under like persecution sometimes, and I'm like, is it bad over there? I'm like nah, I mean like, yeah, like the violence is like, but everything's coming like, no, the masks.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like every time somebody from out of town asks about Chicago, it's always like, oh man, it's so dangerous. Are you safe? Are you okay? No, but you're talking about masks.
Yeah, talking about masks. It's like, you're serious. Well, hey, it is what it is. We'll laugh about this at some point, but
For sure.
Until then, though.
Yeah, until then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Reset the Vibe Podcast.
Yo.
So we got 2 guests with us today.
Mhm.
All right. Ladies first. So we got returning guests.
It's me, Ciara.
Word. Welcome back, Ciara. Welcome back. And to my right, we have a scholar, a gentleman.
Ooh. Gentleman and a scholar.
A deacon. A father. A man of God, man.
Make him say,
It's a lot of commas. You got a lot of commas under there, man.
Nah.
Look at all those titles.
Yeah.
And that's not even all of them.
Oh.
No, it's not. But we be out here all day, so I listen to them all. You probably got titles I don't even know about, but it's cool though. It's all right.
It's all right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
All right, joining us today, special guest, first time. Warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Marvin Wilson.
Yo. Good to be here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the invite. Of course, this is something new and different for me, but I'm going to roll with the punches. Whatever you throw at me, I'm going to see if I can catch it. Go ahead.
All right. Love to see it. We love to see it.
And if you can't tell the distinguished looks, you know what I mean? That's my doppelganger over there, you know? You see it? You see
It's
it?
your father.
Yeah. That's my dad, y'all. That's my dad. So, piggybacking off of New Year's resolutions, let's dive into this year a little bit, right? First off, what has this year what's this year been like for y'all? Like not post pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic, like we just talked about. But there's a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? For everybody. Second year of the pandemic, life changes and everything else like that. Lord willing, I'll be 30 in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things. Dirty 30. I'm talking about
30.
Yeah.
Man, that's a loaded question, and you know that, bro.
It is a loaded
You know that's a
question.
loaded
It is.
question.
I mean, there's just so much. I mean, here it is, 21. We're about to embark upon 22, and we still have this uncertainty as to what is going to happen and how it's going to happen. 21 for me has been up and downs in terms of expectations. Like I said, we was talking earlier about this pandemic. It's been. Let me back up a little bit. I retired about a year and a half ago.
That's good.
Last September, and my expectations were to not immediately, but sort of like getting out and doing things, differently, traveling, perhaps getting another chance to get close to my grandchildren and my children. Period. All of those things. And see, down here is like December already, 3 weeks away from 22. And I haven't been able to do any of that. I haven't been able to travel. It's kind of hard to get with family members because you don't want to jeopardize any type of transmission between no one. And it's just that I haven't been able to do any of that. Like I say, travel, getting closer to the grandchildren, although I've seen them, sure. Getting closer to the children, and just thinking that 21 is going to be, this was like 2020, thinking that 21 was going to be my year. I'd already missed 2 birthdays as far as, being quarantined, quote unquote, don't come out, don't do this, don't do that. So I'm thinking, things is going to change. But it just seems like every time we get a new vision of things that's going to happen for the better, something grabs us and say, no, not yet. And from a spiritual aspect of it, I don't want to get off in too much religion. Of course, I don't know what he's going to come up with. but I am a believer that it's all in his hands. Okay? And these things that happens, we read about them in Bibles. You can hear about them on any type of religion show. People trying to predict this, trying to predict that, but I'm just a firm believer that there is yet something to become. And as I dig deeper into my faith, I come to understand that in God's own time, He's going to sort all of this out. Yeah. And in the meantime, we just have to continue to hold on to our faith, continue to believe, continue to have compassion for humanity, but we have to understand that these things is going to come upon us. Okay, trials and tribulations, and like I say, my thinking that when I retire, I'm going to get, do this, do that, and it just hasn't happened yet. Sure, you're going to get frustrated, but you have to hold on to your belief and your faith that things are going to get better. And even if they don't, you have to understand that it is not in your hands, but it's in His hands. So I'm just saying that 21 has been up and down for me as far as personally want to do things that I think would enhance, or should I say, get closer, to my loved ones and so forth and so on, and traveling. That hasn't happened, but I'm not giving up. I think these things is going to just take time. So, so I'll leave it at that.
Man, over there preaching, huh?
No.
Need an organ. That's what we need. He's probably playing the organ. Ciara, Cam?
What you, Ciara?
How about you, Cam?
How about you, Ciara?
What was the question?
Yes.
So the question was, this year, like, how was it for you?
It wasn't too different from last year. Some things are still open and stuff. I feel like, like when 2020 hit, And I was thinking of all the stuff that I couldn't do, like travel and things. Things were shut down. Gym was shut down. No more fitness class. No more, several things. And I was just like, man, if I knew the pandemic was gonna hit, I would have done this, that, and the third before, lockdown began. And now, like, it's a little less of a lockdown, and I'm like still not even really doing those things. It's kind of weird, and I kind of feel the same way, like how you mentioned. It feels like something else is about to happen, like we're about to be shut down again. You never know. I mean, it's cold and flu season right now, and I'm just like, well, I would travel, I would do this and that and the third, but I don't want to get caught up into anything. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know, living on eggshells this year. Just waiting for the boom. But, living a little, but like not as much. We're still in these masks. I'm still like a little scared of getting sick. But I got my shots and everything, and every time I see somebody, out and about, not caring about their mask or whatever, I'm just like, well, I took my steps and I did what I had to do, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
True.
What's you, man?
So, it's interesting that you mentioned that you wish that you would have known things were in a lockdown so you could do the things that you wanted to do before they got shut off. And this brings a nice memory from The Office, right? Because yes, from the show The Office, one of the greatest shows of all time, by the way. But Andy said that, and I believe he said it on the last episode.
Exactly what he said.
He was like, I really wish I knew when the good times were, so that when I was in them, like I could have really enjoyed them for what they were at that time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, it's the same thing for me. It's with the COVID, man. Like, I wish I could have done this, that, and the third. Cause like how Cam had plans with his music and everything, I had plans on like getting my license and getting a car. Like that was like the plan. Like in the fall, like the spring, I was gonna be studying, getting some practice in behind the wheel. By the summertime hit, I was gonna have funds and I was gonna have me a whip, and it was just gonna be golden. Yeah.
COVID said, nah. Have you been to the DMV since COVID?
Yeah, DMV wild. It's not, actually, take that back. It's not even wild no more. You can't even be over there like that no more. It's actually kind of nice.
It's appointments times. Appointments.
Yeah, it's kind of nice that way. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the more I think about it, I'm like, this might be one of the good things that came out of the pandemic. like the egregious lines, and I mean, that's
yeah. No, it's like 2021. 2020 took a lot out of me. It did. I don't got to go into details. We all lived it. It was a real rough year for everybody and everything. But one of the things is, for me, like, my birthday was last year. I turned 29 on the 29th. And, yeah, COVID was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had plans on having a party and everything.
Yeah.
But then I decided, you know what? I'm going to be mature about this. I'm going to be responsible. People would come out and support me and show me love. But if somebody were to get sick on my behalf and me just want to throw a party, I feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do a party this year. And it hurt because I've been having parties for my birthday since I was 18. Mm-hmm. Like parties. You know what I'm saying? Like my parties are talked about. Like that's how good it is because like I go all out for it.
Right.
But it hurt because I wasn't able to celebrate it how I wanted to celebrate it. Mm-hmm. Right. And now 2021 is here. It's almost gone, but it's been a real life-changing year for me. Like I mentioned before, like I found God in this year. You know what I mean? Like I started my walk. This podcast has grown. Like I mentioned that before, like I just started off the podcast with a phone and some headphones, not even a microphone. Mm-hmm. And just look at where we're sitting at right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? glory be to God. But this is where we're at right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the growth of it. For me, having the idea of wanting to write like my first novel and taking steps and actually doing it, all the way to, Lord willing, I make it to see my birthday in a couple of weeks when I turn 30. Just this year has been a lot. It's been the most and single important year of my life to date. Just for me learning things, just for me growing, and just, it's been amazing. You know what I mean? It's had its fair share of up and downs, but that's everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm definitely looking forward to next year. I know that we got a new COVID variant strain or whatnot, and I'm pretty sure that's probably won't even be the last strain that we run into before this whole pandemic is over.
Yeah.
But I like to find some peace in it, because my dad was talking about, like, it's in God's hand. That's for one, right? But also, what Ciara was talking about a little bit, you still gotta live. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you gotta be out here wilding, but you still gotta live. You know what I mean? Like, can't just be cooped up and, oh, I can't go here, I can't go out, I can't do this, I can't do that because COVID's gonna catch me. And it's just like, I get it, I get the concerns. But at the same time, like, life don't stop. Bills don't stop, you know what I'm saying? Like, life keeps going on regardless of what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's my 2021, bro. What about you?
Man, my 2021 has been a lot in terms of, like, I would say I'm grateful for the fact that, like, my 2021 COVID has been a background thing. Like, in no way has it been, like, the forefront thing. It is just something that was, like 2020 obviously was like, a pandemic influenced everything. I feel like, for me, 2021 was graduated college, and everything in life is starting to trajectory in a different way. So I'm kind of
that is
I appreciate that.
That is clap.
Yeah, no, it's just man. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, like I feel like manhood is taking a different turn for me at this point. I'm 27, and I feel like this is the point, like, where I'm starting to feel like everything, graduating high school, getting a full-time job, and doing the thing that way, like, everything's starting to progress, and it's going to continue to progress in a lot of different ways in the next year. And so it's been a cool time of transition, and, like, sometimes it feels like my head is on a swivel, but I'm grateful, because honestly, like, everything that's happening is, like, definitely, like, a blessing, and all given from God, and I'm grateful for it. But I would say, like, this has been, like, that year of just being, like, kind of, like, open-handed with everything, because you realize that, like you were saying, like, God is in control, and so just letting that be enough has been, like, the most calming thing I can do for myself. Is just like, you know what, like, this is crazy. All of what's happening right now, it's crazy. I graduated college, it's crazy. I'm doing what I'm doing, like even doing the pod and stuff like that. It's just like, man, we're doing a lot right now, but I'm blessed and I'm grateful. So that's what life has been like for for this 2021. I'm looking forward to 2022. I mean, I don't want to predict nothing, because the moment we start predicting something, start going a different way. But I'm excited regardless, because I know that God is still in control. So I'm cool.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So I guess that was a little bit serious and a little bit heavy. You know what I mean? But we're gonna lighten up a little bit. So we're gonna talk about one of our favorite pastimes on this podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, what has been the best food that you have eaten this year?
Oh, we back.
Yeah, we back.
R.I.P.D.
Yeah.
Miss you, Darius.
Yeah, Darius.
That's food you ate this year. Right.
No, just for Darius. So Darius isn't here because he isn't feeling well. So we're wishing him all the best and his speedy recovery. He'll be back when he feels better, obviously. Shouts out to you, Darius, bro.
Feel better.
Yes, sir. But anyway, yes, the question.
Best food I had this week.
I can go first if y'all gotta think about it. Since I posed the
Okay,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
No, so where did we go? Was it Longhorn Steakhouse? Or was it Outback?
I believe it was Longhorn.
It was Longhorn.
Can possibly Outback.
Listen. The steaks I don't care about. Okay, like I'm
okay.
like, for one, I'm not a real. I'm not a snake. I'm not a steak guy. Okay, filet mignon, I can rock with it every once in a while, but I'm not a steak person. Look, I know,
okay.
Like, he can't be my son. Look, I get you. I get you.
Okay.
Because I don't drink Pepsi, and he was already like, I don't know. Cause that's his drink, right? Drink is a Pepsi, and I was always a Sprite kid, so it's just like, now me not a steak person. I get you, I understand. No, so they have a bomb soup, bruh. It's a potato soup, and it changed my life, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. If I could sit up there, if it wasn't like an expensive restaurant to be going to, and if it wasn't too far from me, I would be there every week, at least once a week, eating that soup.
But it's not expensive.
A soup?
And it's not that far.
A soup?
It's far from my laziness. It's far from my laziness.
A soup?
Yes, a soup. A soup, son.
It's a 96 away.
It is a bus. It's a bus
one
ride
bus
away.
away?
Yeah, it's a bus ride away. But
You wild for that.
yeah, but I mean, like,
you must not have loved
He
it that
beyond
much.
wild.
but the bus don't stop in front of it. Like, it goes to the mall, and then you got to walk across the parking lot to the mall.
Get off across the street.
You know that was a bad argument. You said it out loud, and that was a bad.
But
horrible
it's
argument.
like a busy street. Listen,
It stops in
You
front
said,
of
I gotta walk across the street
I preface
The
this.
for the soup that changed your life.
I preface this whole thing by saying, like, it's far enough for my laziness. Okay, I said that. All right.
Yeah, I don't think we realized the depth of which laziness we were speaking of,
Listen.
and now we know.
Yes, but no, that soup. Soup is good, bro.
Potato soup,
Yes.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yes.
Shout out Longhorn.
Tui and McCormick.
Huh?
Tui and McCormick.
that one. I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Okay, Tui and McCormick.
Joey McCormick. Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout
Right
Where?
across.
Yeah, where's that
right
at? Where's that?
across from
What
the
city is
Lincolnwood
that? I mean, what
Town
neighborhood
Center.
is that? Where-
That's
Lincolnwood.
Lincolnwood?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't mess with Lincolnwood, bro. I went to Lincolnwood Mall one time.
Wait, what was wrong with Lincolnwood Mall though?
Nothing there. There was
I mean,
nothing
it
good
is
there.
a kind of. Yeah.
There was nothing that I,
It's
we went
dead.
shopping and it was just like it's dead over here.
I
Wow.
ain't gonna lie.
I'm not gonna hold you. I definitely
The
bought
mall
3
is
things
dead.
still. It was just dead
No.
though. Like it was just dead.
No, I get you. I ain't gonna hold you, but like I feel like as we gotten older, we gonna get back to the food thing, but like I feel like as we gotten older, like malls ain't what they used to be. Like it don't even with online shopping and everything going on right now.
True.
It's like
True.
you know what I'm
True.
saying? Because like
Yeah.
I remember Ford City used to be the mall to go to, but before that it was Evergreen Plaza.
Okay.
But once Evergreen Plaza kind of, I don't know whether they shut things off or somebody deemed it not cool to be shopping there. Like it just,
Or the explosion.
the explosion was at Ford City.
Oh, we're talking about Evergreen. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, the Evergreen Plaza, like it used to be the thing. And I think a lot got taken away from it because they had a movie theater over there. But once they closed that movie theater down, like
That's really the sign of a bumping mall though. Like your mall's probably bumping if you got a movie theater in there. If you don't, it's probably cool.
yeah,
You gotta have some real good stores or that, or like some good food in there.
yeah.
Like, but you're right though, because like in the Amazon age of that, like no store is really pulling people in like that. Like this is H&M and Forever 21, but you're more so like happy it's there because you had to go do something else or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
man,
But back to the food. What about y'all? I got my potato soup.
Food. Man, I don't know. I feel like I didn't have anything crazy this year. I was like, I got into. No, I'm not. That's not an answer for that question. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
No,
Anybody else got an answer? Who got an answer?
I don't really have
Well-
an answer either. Nothing's standing out.
Well, I'm not sure. You said the best food that you've had all year. You didn't say where the origin would be, whether it's from home or from.
Could be from anywhere. You could have made it. You could have bought it.
Yeah. Well, I guess 2 things. Number one, I made some turnip greens with cornbread, and I had a side of sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Okay, I made that.
Yeah.
And I kind of surprised myself when I did it.
All right, King. Okay.
And that was the best homemade food that I've had. Now, and going out, I have to say it was Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, I had the meatloaf, the carrots, and the stewed apples.
Okay.
Is it
Oh
stewed
my
apples?
goodness.
Really?
Yes.
What is stewed apples?
Is it apple stew?
Is it like
No, you can't just flip the words. We do. No,
What?
is it apple still?
No, it's basically apples and probably some brown sugar and sweetness and stuff like that. You know, it's not complicated. You could actually do it yourself. You know.
So it's apple compote.
So it's apple filling.
Why did you just cuss at me, Leighton? I don't know what you just said. Apple compote. What? What? Yeah, apple compost. What's that track?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about, but like,
you lost
is it apple filling? Like pie, apple pie filling? I mean,
I think I know what you're talking about. It's like, like slice it up, right? It's like sliced up like apples, and then it's like in the like kind of cooked at the bottom with like some sugar on it, like that. And like
brown sugar and
just heated up like that. Yeah.
But chunky?
It's like pieces of apple slices.
Apple slices.
Yeah.
Compost. That was for this year. I mean, crack up and all, and I hadn't been there for quite some time. I did make a journey down to Tennessee back in September, and Cracker Barrel is usually several stops along the way. You know, down through the years, I've been to this place and either had breakfast or dinner, and it has always been, say, like a home cooked meal, if you will. So that's why I say Cracker Barrel. Now, I didn't mention steak because you kind of surprised me right there.
no, that's cool.
Because I go to Longhorns and I have the flow, 9-ounce flow. mighty nice. Medium rare. Yeah.
Oh, if only Ladarius was here.
Oh yeah, Ladarius loves steaks. Oh man, y'all can tell back
Well,
stories.
You alluded to the point that I am a steak and potato guy, so but
I'm all with the potatoes. I'm a potato king. Listen, any kind of potatoes, I'm good with. The steak part, nah.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't think of anything this year that blew my mind. I made some fettuccine alfredo the other day that was pretty good. Yeah, I used the Asiago and some Parmesan with it. Yeah, so that was good. That's like one of my like things I'm trying to like get locked down. So, and like my thing is to season the chicken. Like nobody really seasons the chicken. They always just throw the chicken in there like as a side piece. But you throw the seasoned chicken in there,
right,
and that's where the good stuff hits. So that was really good. But I can't really say like I had like a meal this year that was just like, oh man, like can't forget about that, or I gotta get back to that. It was a decent year.
The vision that I just had in my mind of this fettuccine alfredo, this alfredo that you're making from scratch. You said Asiago cheese. Did you say Parmesan?
The Parmesan, yeah.
Oh man, and then you say you season the chicken. Then I'm thinking, oh, what would happen if you overnight marinated some chicken? And now I know what food porn is like. Thank you for that. Because the vision, it was good.
I'll take it. I know that's a compliment. I'm taking that. Man.
I don't know. I didn't make nothing too crazy. I mean, I made some peach cobbler this year. I made it twice.
Okay.
And apparently it was a hit. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to have none of it. So
that's tough. You made it twice?
No.
Twice?
So I made it. So I made it once for like the little family reunion that we do every year.
Okay.
Right. And then I made one because she asked me to make some. Okay. Like consistently.
Okay.
She's like, yo, what about that peach cobbler though? And I'm just like, all right, we go to the store, buy the ingredients. I bought the ingredients. It was sitting in the cabinet for probably about, I don't know, 2 weeks?
Oh, was it that long?
And then she was like, yeah. So
I'm waiting on you.
Exactly. About this peach cobbler. So yeah, man, I ain't do nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Man, can I take the reins for a little second?
Ahead, bro.
I gotta ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are his father. What was it like watching him become a tree? like, how was your pockets hurting? You sitting there looking at him like, can you stop growing, sir? Like you, like, oh, we just bought you pants yesterday. I gotta buy you pants again. It's been 3 days. Or is there any like prediction that like you knew that he was gonna be that tall like that? Because I don't know. It's just
No, well, his mother is tall, and I'm tall.
okay.
So I suppose somewhere in between that DNA and the actual results were, he never wanted to stop growing. But no, he was a delight when he was a youngster, and he's even more impressing me even to this day because let me put it like this. I could say that as he's younger, he probably doesn't remember all the toys or the birthday celebrations, you know, the cake and the candles and all of that. Well, but to this day, and the person that he's grown to be, and I have to say that I'm very proud of his accomplishments thus far. So even though I may have had the idea that he might be a basketball player or he might have did some type of sports, but he has managed to do his own thing, and I have to, like I said, I have to be proud that knowing that he has done some of those things that he wanted to do. He used to write, he used to draw a lot, let me put it like that, draw pictures. I think one of his favorite pictures, or should I say toys, were the Power Rangers back in the day, and he used to draw those pictures, and actually that was one of his pastimes, the drawing, and even before he started writing, you know. So to correlate that into your third book already? Two?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, two. And the things that he has accomplished, like I say, I'm proud of him.
That's what's up. It made me cry.
Man, you're gonna make me start crying in here,
You
man.
call my dad after this. Man. That was my question. I was just wondering what it was like to watch you like grow and like you know, as a man, but definitely physically on the other end too. I'm just like, man, I'd be like every morning you like, good morning, son. Good morning, son. What you doing? What you doing today? Man, but
No, I definitely should drink that coffee. Like once they sold me coffee to stunt his growth,
yeah.
I stayed away from it. I'm like, no, I don't want to stunt my growth. And I look at him like, yeah, I should have done some of that coffee. Man.
That's definitely it. Yeah.
And I might actually like coffee now. I would have started drinking it back then. But see, I don't think it really would have been coffee because all I did was put sugar in it so it tastes good.
The only reason why I wanted to drink coffee is because everybody said no.
Wow.
And that will tell you sin nature. Everybody tell you no, it's bad for you. You like, let me get some of that. That's so funny.
Well, let me say this, and you and I touched bases on it a little few days ago, and no, it wasn't a few days. It was yesterday, wasn't it? Anyway, I had finally got to see the podcast. I don't know how I looked up on it. I think it was on Facebook or
YouTube?
YouTube, yeah. And I was watching the last podcast that you guys did, and he was talking about relationships. And I was telling him, I said, you guys did real well right off the top of your head about it. You was kind of hesitant about not coming, you know, think right off your head. You was kind of stumbling a little bit, but you got some things out, good things out. But what I was telling him, I said you should perhaps spend a little bit more time talking about relationships, especially in the Black community, because over the years, the Black community, and we as, you know, African Americans, we have come a long way, but we are sort of like distancing ourselves and I'm not sure if it's related to the younger generations that's coming up now, and they have, of course, they have a different understanding of it, but you don't have that love and that togetherness that the black community used to have. Okay, it's sort of like winged out a little bit. Nowadays, you just have people just doing their own thing, not so much as a relationship, but just living together, doing this, that, and the other. You know, not really committing togetherness. And as far as bringing children into the world, you're not prepared for that. A lot of people are not prepared for it, especially young people today. And talking about just relationships and what can bring people back together closer, you know, as far as loving each other, you know, and if you do have a family, you know, what do you guys do, and how can you make that relationship or that marriage or whatever, how can you make it stronger? Okay, and I believe if you just hone in onto it a little bit more and try to come to an understanding of what it really is. The Joiners had a song back in the day, I Want to Know What Love Is. Okay, and we have gotten, like I said, we've gotten away from what true love is in a relationship. And I think we could do a good service to just sort of like expound upon it and ask questions, you know, to other people, bring other people, guests in, and tell you, it don't really have to be, say, relationships per se, but kind of weave that into it just a little bit, you know, weave that little connection there, and talk about what it is to keep families together, relationships together, you know, understanding together, because we can do our own thing, but if we don't incorporate that into bringing someone else along with that ride, that relationship, that understanding, then we're going to start losing even more, you know. So I just think relationships needs to be talked about a little bit more.
I think that's a symptom of bad R&B music.
Oh,
I think we need better R&B music.
Yes.
No, I hear all what you're saying. I'm sorry for making a joke, but
No,
that is
we don't
so
have
real,
we
though.
don't have good R&B music no more. Like, nothing to bring us together like that. I was thinking when you were saying, I'm like, man, ain't no song I'm thinking that's like putting us all together and making us feel good. It's like it's just different now. It's just
Well, they used to make songs, you know, that it was always togetherness in it. It was something about, you know, you and I, you know, we were made for each other, so forth and so on. But nowadays, you know, I don't have no disrespect to the youth today, you know, as far as their music. I mean, it's their time, true. But what is it benefiting your brother, your sister, your younger brother, your younger sister? What is it benefiting them, really? They are not. The only thing they understand is the B word, the M word, and so forth and so on. You know, it's nothing about the L. Okay, it's nothing about the T, togetherness. Okay, so you can do your music. That's fine. Even religious music now. I mean, you know, you have. Well, I can relate to Jesus. I mean, you know, God or whatever, in my own way. Okay, I do it my own way. You know, I'm not traditionalist, and I'm not. I praise him like I want to praise him, so forth and so on, how I want to. But what are you actually doing in light of, like I say, the music that you have today? You know, as far as the rap music and the words that's coming out of there is you know, putting women down and so forth and so on, and badgering this, that, and the other. And I just think it's just a disrespect, you know, for the whole black community, really, in some of the music, you know. But and I think it could be better. It could be better. But like you say, you alluded to, back in the day, I mean, songs meant something.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, for the old days, I wish.
I think what you were talking about as far as like relationships and us expounding on it and everything. I think what it is that there's a lot of things that we've learned over the years, and what we've learned and what society has taught us or deemed cool or acceptable
Mm-hmm.
is what you hear in the music nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I think it's both though.
Mhm.
Like I think maybe the music pushes it, right? Where it's like, yeah, what's maybe it's cultural acceptance and then makes the music, but I also think the music makes things cultural acceptance as well. You know what I'm saying?
Like imitates art.
That, but also like I think music has such a power that it can push things. Like it can push agendas and it can push like things a certain way, right? Like I don't think like
It's influential.
it's influential. That's what I won't make a like yeah, it's influential. I think that certain things can't happen if music isn't also a part of it going and pushing forward and stuff like that, right? Like, yeah,
I agree.
yeah. So
I agree. It's with music and it's a lot of things. Like I said, like it's things that society has deemed cool and everything. It's the music that's out and everything, and it's I don't want to say conditioned, but it's made us comfortable with being how we are. Not saying us, but us in general. Like it's making us more comfortable where we are. Where we can just make a song about degrading women, and it's cheered on, and like even some women, singing lyrics like by heart. You know what I'm saying? The same thing, and not. I mean, they know, but they don't care that It's,
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's just things that we just gotta unlearn. And if we do that, if we take steps into doing that, I think we start to see change with that. Because relationships, especially relationships in the black community, it's important. You know what I mean? It's mad important. And like you said, like we need to have that love. We need to have that togetherness. Cause man, where we at right now with it is scary. Because like I'll just be looking online at like the single people tweet and Facebook statuses about what they laughing about, what the predicaments they get themselves in and stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh wow,
Yeah.
y'all are wilding out here. Like it is the wild west right now.
Yeah.
Like people are doing all kinds of things.
Oh yeah.
Like but they operating out of a deficit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like like I'm not gonna do the traditional a father's not there or something like that. But like some people,
Don't have that example.
yeah, they don't have that example. They don't have like they never had the love at home.
Mm-hmm.
So they get what they think is love from online and attention and things like that, but that's not really serving. It's like a band-aid. Like, yeah, it makes me feel good that you liking my posts, or you jumping in my DMs and stuff like that. It makes me feel important and feel like you feel loved, but that's not love. But if you don't know what love is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go with what feels comfortable to you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay, so speaking of how music is super influential to what young folks and even like older kind of folks, middle-aged to younger, on trickle down, who is the true tastemaker? Like who decided that like singing about love wasn't cool? Because there are artists that do sing about love and the good parts of love, but like they're not brought to mainstream radio or whatever. Like so like who is the real tastemaker? Who made?
I think
Who's the tastemakers?
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
money for sure. I think it's also the cool kid syndrome, right? I like to think of it as that. And the cool kid syndrome is how you were in high school or elementary school, even in college, where the cool kids seem to always get away with a lot or say a lot, and like whatever they did, that was the culture. That was what was accepted. That was what was, you know what I'm saying? That was what was considered cool. And so for a lot of people who aren't cool, but they want to be accepted, it's like, all right, well, if you say that that's cool, then I'm gonna rock with you because you yourself are cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's what a lot of it is. You know what I'm saying? Because if you had somebody like, let's take Drake for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Biggest artist out right now. If Drake just changed and he started doing just straight Christian music, right?
Yeah.
Gave his life over to God and everything. You actually saw. I'm not talking about like Kanye, but like you actually saw like the actions and everything.
Sure.
Gave up just making straight gospel music.
Okay.
Do you think that everybody is gonna start transferring to gospel music, or do you think that it's just gonna be like, all right, well, you had your run, that's cool.
I think you'd be surprised at how many people would,
right?
But I don't think everybody would. I think that's just not natural.
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't happen that way. No, I don't. I mean, I was thinking about that whole music being influential thing, and my thing was I realized something was that like I don't think the LGBTQ movement makes it to where it is today without songs like the Macklemore song, like what is that like? I can't change it if I try, even if I wanted to. Songs like that, or songs like Lady Gaga, Born This Way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that stuff ever gets to like the mainstream or gets to stuff like that, like in transforms and like transforms like society in certain ways, that without songs like that to be like the anthems of these changes, right? In the same way that there was like anthems in like the civil rights movement that were things that push things a certain way, you know what I mean? Because it makes it more digestible for people to be able to push things forward. So I think there's this thing about being artists that we have a responsibility, and in a society that increasingly tells us that we're individualistic, we'll continue to see different messages put out there, and everybody's truth being universal truth, until everybody's kind of confused looking at each other like nobody can be right. So that's kind of where I'm at with all of that.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'll be the last question because Cam gotta go. Yeah, no, go ahead. You can get it.
Okay, staying on the theme of love and couples and relationships. Okay, so what I want to know is, okay, Cam, you're kind of still in a like new relationship. Would you say your relationship is still new? No,
I don't
it's like
know.
at a medium?
I don't know. It's in that weird medium,
Is
right?
it
It's that like
medium rare?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's hard to explain because it's like not new because we've been friends for so long, but it's like also new because like
that's right.
we're both sitting there like looking at each other like, are we really still doing this? It's kind of crazy. So like, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and answer your question. That's your question though.
Round table. I'm gonna start with Cam.
Okay.
Okay, so what is one thing that your partner has maybe said or just proclaimed or taught you that like stuck with you?
Something that she's taught me that's like, what do you mean like the like something she like? Explain. Give me an example, please.
More. How do I say this? ¿Cómo se dice? I don't speak Spanish. Oh well, I guess I could go first. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
My example is, I don't know, when you get in like some deep relationship talk or whatever, every now and then Fred and I have like these talks where we get in depth with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought up grace, and having grace with each other is really important. And ever since he said that, like, it really stuck with me, because I do have like this habit of, when you have big expectations of like your significant other or your friend or anybody really, like you can be harder on them or expect them to be perfect or be a little bit agitated, because it's just like, okay, you're being this, but I know you could be way better than this. But like, you have to have grace with your significant other and allow them to make certain mistakes without you like blowing up or getting extra agitated, because nobody's perfect, and I constantly have to like remind myself of that, like we are humans. And once he broke down grace, I was just like, grace, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Okay. On that kind of extension, I'll say this. We had a conversation, and life has been amazing, but we're both going through a lot of life change right now. And I think for the longest time, I felt like I was the one going through the most change. And then once we started to talk more, she kind of expressed where she was at, and I was like, oh yeah, you're kind of going through exponentially more change than I'm going through. But I've been so busy thinking about my own change this whole time that I can't even, that I say things about how things are changing for me like that, and I'm stressing you out because you are seeing all the stuff I'm doing, and you got your own stuff going on, and since we're trying to do this together, it's just a lot for you, right? Not overwhelmed to the fact of like, but just to the fact of like looking at it and being like, hey, like basically, like, if I start to talk about like changing jobs or wanting to move and stuff like that, right? Then she's like, like, and for the longest time it's just been like, oh, it's just me and Cam dreaming, thinking it's doing its own thing, right? And now it's like, oh, now I'm dreaming and thinking, and like that includes you now. You feel a part of that. So when I say it out loud, then that like you were considering that as part of something for you as well. And on the back end of that, you have all your other stuff that you got to process and figure out yourself. So I'm overloading you, thinking that I'm the one going through all this stuff, and you're going through a lot of stuff too. So plus trying to somewhat manage the stuff that I'm throwing at you as well. And I think this taught me about perspective, because I think for the longest time I value perspective, and I always thought that, like, if I'm honest, like, my pride says like I'm the best at seeing perspective of everybody else around me and really understanding that. And that humbled me. It was like, dang, like, even when I think I know, I don't. So even on that note of like grace and things like that, it's like, oh, like I have to continue to remind myself to be humble and understand that, like, I don't know what the person next to me is really going through, no matter how close I am with them, like that. Like, I can try and I can empathize as much as I can, but like trying to thinking I fully understand is probably not that feasible. But loving them through and like being present and being what I can be for that moment is what's important. If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Clutch. Perspective is a good one to.
Yeah.
Dad, share some wisdom with us.
Well, although right at the moment I'm not in a relationship, but I have been in a relationship, of course. And if I could impart on just a phrase, and if you can think outside the box, if you will, it used to be a phrase that you get what you pay for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In your relationships, whatever you put into your relationship is basically what you're going to get out of it. If you're cheap to your relationship, then it's going to be a cheap relationship. But I would say, if you are able to find whatever there is to somehow spark or somehow to let the other person know that you care about them, then the relationship will go further. But if you take a one-sidedness, or if you're selfish and that you only want to say, do things for yourself, then that relationship is not going to last. So I say, what you put into your relationship is what you're going to get out of it. And I don't mean money, because I'm saying if you can find a card, you can find a word, you can find a phrase, you can find whatever it is that you want to impart upon your partner, okay, to let them know that you care for them, care about them, and just don't let it be one-sided, but you get what you pay for. Okay?
That's nice. For me, what I learned is something really early on in my relationship, because I was still in high school at the time. And we had some conversation. I don't even know what it was about, but essentially it was Ciara telling me that I'm not better than anybody, right? Because up until that point, I thought I was better than people.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in a cocky way, like, oh, I have more money than you or something like that.
Yeah.
But what I was getting mixed up was I'm different than.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're younger, a lot of times you can look at yourself and be like, yo, I'm different than you, so that means I'm better than you.
Yeah.
No, it just means that you're different than.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she taught me, she was like, yo, like, how are you walking around like, you know what I'm saying, you almighty and you this and you that, like, you're not better than nobody. And it's something that I should have known.
Yeah.
But it's something about actually hearing words out loud that once you hear it or once you say it, then things begin to click, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not better than anybody. Why did I think this was so long? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because coming from where I'm coming from, bro, like I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean? And I'm around all of these type of people. You know, like they not reading, they not using common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like they out here making dumb decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the while, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And in my head, I'm just like, yo, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
Without realizing, like, no, I'm just different. Like, I'm making different choices than you are. You know what I'm saying? We all still the same. Like, I make mistakes, you make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no ground to stand on. You know what I mean? But to be able to sit there and just think about that, of what she taught me, and, like, that stuck with me forever. Like, I turned that whole idea around, and now I'm humble.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people even say I'm too humble. It's like, yo, like I don't even want to go down that route, especially with like the blessings and the level of success that I've obtained these last few years. Like I want to be extra humble. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get big headed and think like, oh, well, I did this and I did that.
Would you say you're the most humble person you know? That's a trap.
Yeah, it is a trap.
Don't answer that question.
No. That is a trap.
I was like, you started thinking too hard, bro. That's a trap.
No,
Don't fall for it.
No. Because I thought about it for like a split second. I'm like, this feels like a setup. It feels like a setup. Oh man, like it's like I said, man. Like I just like when people say, oh, good job, or you did this or that. Like nah, man. Like it's all God. Or you know, teamwork makes a dream work. Like no, like it was a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be taking no credit for it. It's just like, no, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to share it because I don't ever want to be in that space again where I think that I'm better than people, because I'm not.
Yeah.
And nobody's better than anybody. You're different than, but you're not better than.
Yeah.
You know.
So
That's a good question.
that was a good question.
Very good question.
Word. So we are about to wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 50-something, 57? I don't know, man.
Stop trying to count the episodes, bro. We never gonna get it.
We never gonna get it.
Never
So we
gonna
get to the
get
60s. When we get to the 60s, I'm gonna try to make it my mission to know what episode we on. But
Okay.
for our guest, Dad, Ciara, do you have any closing remarks that y'all wanna,
Well, I am humbled for the fact that it's an honor and a privilege to be in your presence, because even on short notice, I was excited to receive the invitation, and I've enjoyed myself, and I hope that I have imparted just a little bit of knowledge or information that may help you to understand the world just a little bit better.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
It's like take your dad to work day.
Yo, I'm trying to figure out when I'm bringing my pops up here, bro.
Man.
That's gonna be a hoot. A hoot. Ciara, you got anything?
Look at you guys. Look at how far you have come.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Being in a room recording, being hot, trying to think of, man, if we want it to sound good, I mean we can't have the air running. But if we want to live, we gotta have the air running. So it's like, which one we want? But now we here, man. It's all thanks to God, man. God had all of this in the works and plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm extremely grateful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm extremely grateful. So to my right, immediate right, Dad. To the center stage, Ciara. To the person that you probably can't see on camera. You see the finger though. Cam. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Reset the Vibe Podcast.
Yeah.
Take care of one another. Love one another. And as always, love.
Peace.
Hey.
So.
So